Good morning, good evening, good day, good whatever it may be. But most importantly, thank you for being here for another edition of the Brunch Gimmick on Love Wrestling. Spencer, joined by Lawrence, joined by Mike. I think Blair's going to show up in a bit. I'm going to take off in a couple of seconds and then come back because I've got to deliver a birthday present. It's going to be another chaotic morning here on Love Wrestling, which is pretty apropos for the chaotic week that we have had here in professional wrestling. If you're tuning in for the first time, thank you for doing so. Make sure to leave us a like here on the Brunch Gimmick and give us a subscription on the Love Wrestling YouTube channel. You're going to get lots of great content nearly every day on here. And if you're tuning in again, like our friends Noob, like our friend Bebe, it is good to see you both. It is good to see all of you tuned in again this morning, this afternoon, this evening. I know Tom hops in every so often. Sandy hops in from the other side of the pond. Got a little good community here on what is my Sunday morning. But thank you for being here, Mike. How are you doing, brother? It's been a lot shorter since I've seen you, ironically enough. I wasn't on brunch last week, but I was lucky enough to hop on with you and Reg a couple of weeks ago. How you been since then, friend?
Very, very well. Had a very fun time talking to you on Indeed a couple of weeks ago. Go back and watch the replay. Shameless plug, you know. Yeah, no, I'm pretty good. I'm a little tired. We did blowing off stream last night, and then we got done, and I was on such my energy was so up that I was up till about 4 a.m. and woke up about 40.
As tends to happen.
Woke up about 45, 50 minutes ago, and I was like, time for brunch.
Well, it is good to see you. And JPJ, good to see you for the second time today. A reversal of roles, so to speak. If you guys want, we're going to be covering a bunch of the topics. Obviously, we have to be talking about CM Punk. All Out is tonight. Give you a bit of a preview on that end of things. But if you want the best coverage of All Elite Wrestling, or the most specific coverage of All Elite Wrestling here on Love Wrestling, head over to Twitch, give us a subscription and a follow over there, because every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Mountain, 10 a.m. Eastern, JPJ and Big Money Drew are hosting firmly AEW. Man, the rhymes are just there this morning. Look at this. I'm like Love Wrestling's Dr. Seuss. But make sure you check that out. They had a lot of great thoughts, a lot of great discussion this morning on, of course, Mr. Punk's firing. Before we get to that, Lawrence, and actually, here's my dad pulling up right now. So I'm going to ask how you're doing, and then I'll let you kick off the discussion with CM Punk while I take off just for a quick little second here.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'm doing great. Also, was up late with Mike and a whole bunch of our friends playing on Blowing Off Stream. See, I had a little bit of a different sleep schedule because I am hardwired from the shoot job to wake up early, so I cannot sleep in. So I was like 2 a.m. up at 6 a.m. and I went shopping this morning. So I'm hanging on by a
soda
thread.
beverage. I'm out of coffee this morning.
Oh,
I know.
no.
I think we're all hanging out. Oh, I know.
Did you get a little haircut this morning, Lawrence?
I did last week.
You did last week? Okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the sides are looking. They're still holding fresh. So
yeah.
Sorry, I keep checking out my window to see if when my dad's pulled up. I want to be quick. I want to chat about all of this. It's been an insane week in pro wrestling. What else can a guy say? Obviously, it's been an insane 15 hours-ish ago, I would sort of say. Word dropped. All Elite Wrestling announced that one CM Punk, Mr. Phillip Brooks, no longer All Elite Wrestling. This, of course, like 4 hours before a show in Chicago, a day before a major pay-per-view in Chicago. It is absolutely wild to me, and we're going to jump around a lot here, but it is wild to me that what potentially could have been CM Punk's last match was opening the show against perhaps his biggest rival, his longest running rival, whatever rival, good friend in front of the biggest paid wrestling crowd of all time. What?
If it does end up being his last match ever, not a bad way to go out. At least in ring.
No. Mike, let's clarify that. I was just going to say that's not a bad way to go out in ring.
Yeah.
In ring.
In ring.
The second he gets to that curtain.
The second he goes back through.
Yeah.
Exactly what happened there. It's a bad way to go out. It's a bad way to go out.
CM Punk's last moments in wrestling, great. Phil Brooks' last moments in wrestling, not so good. Yeah.
Yeah, it is wild. At some point somebody's got to do a documentary about this. If not Dark Side of the Ring, ESPN,
30 for 30,
an
E60 or something on CM Punk and what the fuck happened here.
From the brawl out last year to this, every time you check Twitter, there's something new. There's Wrestling Observer reporting more and more stuff that saying it was way more than a lunge at Tony Khan, which we're arguing degrees here of him no matter what way you call it, it was insanely above and beyond going after your boss.
For sure.
That is legitimately the man needs to talk to somebody or somebody to remove him from that situation. At the end of the day, it's best for all parties. And here we go, a run-in by Zach, a hot tag from Spencer to Zach.
I'm watching the clock because I know we were cautious about the rules here on Twitter, so I'm waiting till we actually hit the 10-minute mark to express my feelings about the whole CM Punk scenario. I got about 10 more seconds.
That's funny because
4 seconds, 3 seconds, and I can turn my mug around too in 2 seconds. I'll just do the grand reveal now. That's 10 minutes. This is pretty much.
It's 10 minutes. I can.
There it is. pretty much everyone from yesterday on.
Cursing, puff my vape. 10 minutes. We must have hit the 10-minute mark.
Oh, thank God! I can mainline heroin now. Thanks, Twitter. As Blair gets in, context free. This is what happens when you don't start with us, Blair.
You guys have a great Sunday. I'm just
You're already involved. It's too late.
Yeah, brunch. We usually fall off the rails from pretty quickly. We managed to make it 10 whole minutes today. Let's go! Props, everybody. We did it.
Yeah, that's real growth, guys. I'm proud of us.
That's about 3.5 minutes longer than we usually get.
Granted, that was all accomplished within me being on screen for about 40 seconds. So maybe I shouldn't be patting myself on the back just yet.
Blair, how you doing?
I'm good. Just finished recording an LPW show, and just figured I'd hop on here because it's the world of wrestling. It's a Sunday, and I'm sure it's been a fairly quiet weekend. So why not, see what's going on?
I leave and everybody shows up. Hey,
let's go. Spencer's back.
I can't remove myself just out of the broadcast. So I don't have the producer side where I can freely leave and come back. Someone has to bring me back and take me out. So
don't
I can't
worry.
play this game.
I'd be more than happy to kick your ass out. Good to see.
Oh my
Good
God.
to see you, friends. Where did we leave off?
We're just starting with CM Punk.
In a statement
Perfect.
released by Spencer Love, the Love Wrestling Disciplinary Committee has released Mike Hamley from Love Wrestling.
Yeah.
Noticeably leaves out the line about wishing well in future endeavors. Big cast the situation. Of course, I hope you all know we're sarcastic. We love you.
Wishing him well in his future with Endeavor.
JBJ, I agree with some
there.
of your statement. Nicely done. I think it was better that Tony did it sooner rather than later. There's no sense because, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. When you fire a guy like CM Punk, you're going to have a lot of issues either way. But, there was no sense. The crowd, I think, if they were going to take over the show last night, and even then, I don't think it was as bad as it could have been. It was bad at points. But they were going to take it over whether he was there, whether he was not, whether there was an announcement, whether there was no announcement. And you might as well rip the Band-Aid off because whether it was today, tomorrow, or, probably their next pay-per-view because it is Chicago. It's not like they're not going to be back. You were going to get that sort of takeover regardless of when you went. So you might as well get her over with. Good on Tony, though. Good on Tony. I said, and someone else can pick her up from here, but I said for months up until about last week that professional wrestling was better for having CM Punk in it, and I don't really know if I agree with that statement anymore. Guy's making a ton of money, and I know it's the wrestling business and all those cliches and that sort of stuff, but the wrestling business has evolved past the need for that sort of shit backstage. Mm-hmm. I just think it has. Everybody talks about, and here Vince Russo, bro, as Drew did a great impression this morning, but hear Vince Russo saying, well, this used to happen every week when I was at work. That sounds like a shitty work environment too. It shouldn't happen then. It shouldn't happen now. It shouldn't happen tomorrow. If I jumped at my boss, or I would have to assume any of you jumped at your bosses, which even Dave's coming out and saying this morning, well, I was maybe a little light when I said he lunged at him. Yeah. If I jumped at my boss and screamed at him or threatened to, punch him, whatever, I would be fired. Why is that any different in professional wrestling?
By the way, I'm looking forward to coming out to Edmonton.
Pardon me, sir?
Yeah.
By the way, I'm looking forward to coming out to Edmonton.
And Blair, I'm gonna need you, brother.
Whose side do you think Blair's on?
We're gonna have to talk after this. Yeah, that's why you guys both showed up after I got off the stream.
Blair's gonna be the Samoa Joe of the situation here. Zach off of Spencer.
Does anyone disagree? Does anybody think they should have kept CM Punk after this? I guess just not play devil's advocate, but does anybody disagree?
I don't think you could keep him because it's every week you were having issues with somebody, Ryan Nemeth, Jungle Boy, all of this stuff. And it's it's going to be one after another. It's going to continue happening because it wasn't fully dealt with last year. And I mean, Vince Russo saying, "Hey, it happened back then." That doesn't mean it's acceptable or that it was right. Like,
the workplace has evolved since the mid '90s. Plus, like everywhere, universally.
If he didn't handle it at that point, and like it was a clear, like, even just Jungle Boy, that would have been a fireable offense for the second time. But like, again, going after Tony, not caring about anyone around him, that sets a precedent with the rest of the locker room. And what are you telling everyone else? That like CM Punk can get away with this? If my merch sales are up, I can fucking verbally accost whoever I want. I can do there's clearly going to be a clear double standard there that's not fair for the rest of the locker room, and that carries a weight too for everyone. Like, at the end of the day, this is a positive for everyone. I feel sad. Like it could be good for CM Punk at the end of the day. Hopefully, he can get his stuff together and like grow up and finally like make amends eventually down the line with the people he wronged here. Although, like, apparently what Sports Illustrated is saying, he's got a big, like, he's going to be issuing a statement soon.
I have no faith. I have no faith that CM Punk is going to be making amends with people.
I don't think he is.
He did this. What, 2 weeks after he apologized to Hangman Page? Like, that was the last time. And again, Drew brought it up. Like I said, go make sure you guys tune into Firmly AEW's replay over there on the Twitch channel. But like Drew was saying, like, that was the last time I had any real sense of hope that CM Punk maybe would get past this. And of course it leaks out or gets put out, to Wrestling House, Nick Hausman, that there was supposed to be this meeting and all of that with the Elite. Well, they're saying this morning on The Observer that wasn't ever scheduled to happen. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's a very, Ophelia, for those of you who are camping over the last day or two, it is a long weekend.
For everyone who's at Burning Man.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Getting what you deserve.
You mean Woodstock 94?
Oh, man. It had been far too long. And you know what the best part is? We've got another Billy McFarland festival to look forward to here in the near future. Electric Boogaloo is going to be great.
Ace Steel probably went away for the weekend and he's going to come back to all of this news.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Well, what's gonna happen with him?
God.
What is and not? Oh, are you okay, Rip? You're good. He just like tried to jump down from the window and he just hit his old chin. You're good. Can we get an exclusive interview? No, you're good. And again, not. Like, what's going to happen to Ace Steel? Another guy could potentially lose his job completely. And he wasn't involved in this one, very obviously, after not being allowed backstage at any pro wrestling shows hosted by All Elite Wrestling. It's so dumb. And I'm so glad that after probably this week, other than the fun little tee-hees that we're going to be throwing out there for the next umpteen amount of years, like, this is, I'm so glad it's over. CM Punk's MLW run is going to be hilarious, and after that, it's going to be over.
His return to MLW.
Yeah, he's going to be in there with what's his name? Tim Donaghy, that was the corrupt referee.
Yeah, they brought him in.
MLW. That's what I'm saying. Is like there's I like MLW's product for the most part. By the way, this is only a fun little tee-hee again, but like he's going to show up there with corrupt referee Tim Donaghy and. Probably Cash Wheeler's going to show up after. Did you see he did the whole CM Punk thing? What a silly move. I like Cash Wheeler a lot, but like, why would you do that? We're not being inflammatory, says Dax on his Shoot podcast, and Cash Wheeler throwing that up on the day that he gets fired. But no, they're not being inflammatory sometimes.
It's okay. You know what I got my giggle of video wise from Collision last night? It was post Collision. Matt Jackson with his arms up in the air, he ran a victory lap around the ring.
I mean, yeah, like to me, that's just as inflammatory. And I personally, I don't think really it's a big deal that he did the straight edge pose. He's just shouting out a friend, and it's very public that they're friends. But I think that Jackson running around the ring like he did is comparable, is it not?
Yeah, I don't disagree. To be honest with you, I didn't see that. I just only saw the clip or the photo online there.
Yeah, I just saw the video.
I just saw it about a half hour before we went live today. I'll
breaking news.
I'll put it in the private chat after.
No,
But,
and Zach, you're bang on there. That would be about the same. And I don't see, like,
I'm with you, JPJ.
I don't know how you can go without mentioning CM Punk, but like, it's very odd for me that, you know, after TK and bang on his part to come out there and do what he did to both kick off the show live and with the promo. But like, why anybody needs to be referencing him, bringing him up, any of that sort of stuff is just, it's all going to ruffle some feathers. And at this point, like, you might as well just start to try and move forward. He's gone. He ain't coming back this time. If CM Punk does ever end up coming back to AEW, I'll be shocked and a little frustrated, because that'd be a very silly decision to make for a third time, to be honest with it. But very, very silly move on I think both of their ends. I just don't think there was a need for either. Why would you risk stirring tensions a week after All In and just after CM Punk gets fired?
Yeah.
Has anyone ever tripped on their dick harder and more often?
Vince Russo.
Did you listen to Hulk Hogan's last couple interviews?
Oh yeah, true.
Another good one.
There's a lot. There's a lot of people. You know what? And it won't be the last person. It really won't be the last person. And wrestling isn't the only industry where talented people get too many chances sometimes. You know, CM Punk is a fantastic professional wrestler. He's a fantastic promo. But at this point, it's just like the entire Collision run, I think, was a disaster, other than there was some good TV wrestling. Everything backstage, it was all tense. It was all frustrating. All of this soft brand split that was obviously, with the Bucks being there, only because of CM Punk. Just why? And Noob even Hawkman, or he can come back to WWE since Survivor Series is in Chicago. I think it'll be a cold day in hell. Like the last time he was there, he got kicked out from backstage.
Yeah, I think he's.
And do you think he's really going to be a part of an organization owned by WWE and UFC? The only other person that could buy in to make it worse would be like Colt Cabana.
Although no, he still has a good relationship with the UFC. Like I think he's still close, like with a lot of people there. So,
I don't know if that's true, but I know he's doing commentary for a different MMA promotion, isn't he?
But I think it's owned by UFC. I think it's like one of those like smaller.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a UFC guy by any means. My favorite UFC guy is still Chuck Liddell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been a minute since he fought.
Yeah.
I bet it's been a hot minute.
I hope we get Spencer dressing up as Chuck Liddell for Halloween.
Oh
no, like the skin cap with a mohawk on it.
The easy part is I just have to be knocked out in the middle of the ring.
You paint on the tribal tattoos too, yeah.
Oh, you can buy those fake sleeves at the dollar store. That's what we'll do.
Or get the actual tribal tattoos. Commit to the bit. Don't be a coward. This Halloween costume is for life, baby.
Yeah, I'm very okay. Spencer versus Chuck at LPW 20. Good to see you, Judge Ben Omen. Thanks for hopping in. You know what? I know exactly where on the jaw to aim. So as long as I can stay out of his way long enough, you hit him here, and he'll hit the mat, and then the ambulance will hit 100.
Thanks.
Chuck Liddell, I would like to legally retract my statement. Lawrence, can you confirm that this has been legally retracted?
It has not. He will fight you anywhere, anytime. He is no coward. He is the boss.
You know what? We do need to make a big splash for our October show.
Yeah.
It's very odd to me that this whole CM Punk stuff was allowed to carry on as long as it was. I'm just very, 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 very happy it's over. I'm gonna have a lot of fun little tee-hees. Like for the next 6 months, anytime somewhere announces a mystery opponent, I will laugh every time I see the reply of CM Punk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah.
I'm going to start announcing a lot more mystery opponent matches. We cannot afford Phil Brooks.
Yeah.
Dude, book a bunch of straight edge wrestlers too, you know, because you just be like, straight edge superstar, you know. Might have heard of them.
Chicago's own will be getting a lot of play here.
Just start bringing up cars from freelance, you know. Just get some of the freelance guys up there. See a lot of
Chicago's most popular wrestler now? Sky Blue. Has to be Sky
Danhausen.
Blue.
Oh no.
Danhausen from Chicago?
No, Danhausen's in Michigan. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
Famous
forgot.
Chicago, Michigan.
Yeah. No,
Mustafa Ali.
I mixed. True. Colt Cabana. He was getting some chance last night.
Even Spencer's beverage of choice is trash talking CM Punk. Look at this.
Yeah.
Bring that bottle back on screen, Spencer.
You know what? I would bring the bottle back on screen, but they don't officially pay us either. So yes, my drink of choice is certainly Mr. Punk's
not the blue brand
competitor. Yeah, I'm the red brand today. Happy Monday night, cola. Wow, there is such a marketing opportunity there for WWE. I don't know what it is, but that's why people get paid more. Do we want to keep? Does anybody else have anything to say? Nothing else has happened, right? It's been like 26 minutes since we started brunch. I don't want to talk about CM Punk anymore. We can talk about Payback. That was a damn good show last night. I really enjoyed that show.
Sorry, guys. Before you get started on Payback, I just wanted to pop in and say hi, have a little chat, but I won't be hanging around for the whole broadcast. And enjoy the rest of brunch.
We'll miss you, friend. But see you soon. Have a good day, friend.
You too.
Payback, a hell of a show last night. I really enjoyed it. To be honest with you, there wasn't really a match that I disliked. I think there were a ton of bangers. Who wants to start? We all watch?
I did not. I watched
You've
Collision.
not watched Payback?
I watched Collision for the first time in a month.
You will enjoy it very much. Yeah. Lawrence, did you watch some Payback?
Yes, I saw. I just missed like the last few matches. But I really loved that opening match with Trish and Becky. Like,
oh man, absolutely. I loved it. You guys are okay with spoilers, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to assume since you're
I've seen most of them on the timeline.
Perfect. First and foremost, the thing that I want to shout out is my favorite moment of the evening. John Cena as backstage interviewer Lance Catamaran was easily my highlight of the eve. I quite liked it from the point that like the fake bow tie right off the bat to the fact that like you visually saw him like slink down a little bit to make both Priest and Balor look taller. It was unbelievable. John Cena, if he's not a Mount Rushmore guy for you, I really don't understand how. He's excellent at everything. There has not been something John Cena hasn't entertained me with since the US Open Challenge. Honestly, what have you ever looked at other than this Austin Theory stuff? And I don't think we would ever put that on John Cena if we can be blunt with it.
That's on Theory more than Cena, yeah.
Well, and that's what I was saying, and I've got a lot of time for Austin Theory. I really do, but I did not like that Cena Theory feud. That would be about it for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of the Lance Catamaran stuff. I hadn't seen the segments. And so while we were in the hangout, while we were in the backstage waiting for blowing off stream last night, Zach saw that John Cena had done Lance Catamaran and got really excited, and then educated me on it. And then while we were waiting for Payback to end, he was just playing episodes of it in here for me. And
Southpaw Regional Wrestling was an absolute treasure.
Yeah,
an absolute treasure.
I'm gonna be watching them like when I'm doing my cardio on the bike today. That's my plan. Is just go.
I think it's a great plan. It is so much fun.
So good.
They came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
just absolutely out of nowhere.
It's like WWE. One of like those like rare times, like when they first started doing stuff with RJ City, and like this was like, oh no, they're letting their talent like show how talented they are outside and just being like how comedically gifted they are. And like one of the biggest tragedies of like one of the like the big releases was that like they had the teaser trailer put up for like the new season that got completely canceled because like they got rid of like almost the entire cast. Like everyone like we were promised another season.
Dango.
It was an absolute. The lost season of Southpaw Regional is out there somewhere.
Might as well
that's lost media. That's actual lost media somewhere. Yeah.
If someone out there can find season 3 of Southpaw Regional Wrestling or the lost season, because I think it was 3. They put out 2.
Yeah.
Someone can find that for me. Like, please direct me.
Yeah.
Please direct me to the lost season of
We'll
Southpaw Regional.
we'll fucking crowdfund, like we'll crowdfund it if we have to get it to what, name your price.
I will crowdfund for that one. Ben Omen hopping in with the Judgment Day. I see what you did there. Yeah, JPJ, I agree with you as well too. Main event ruled, wrong guy won. I agree in this vacuum right now. I am excited because after the show did end, Shinsuke Nakamura had a post-match attack on Seth Rollins, so this one doesn't look to be done. The match was awesome. I think as long as Shinsuke wins this in the long run, I'm cool with it. I do think he's the next guy. They've built him up. I think that there was just a lot of rebuilding to do after that feud with Jinder, and maybe some of the moments that have come since then. They've never really heated him up to the point that he, was when he won the Royal Rumble. I wouldn't say this is his last shot, because I don't think you can ever really say it's someone's last shot in an industry like pro wrestling. But I think this is pretty make or break. This is really where you've got the last opportunity to make him a top guy, or just have him sort of be this, and not that it's necessarily a bad thing, but keep him in this sort of mid-card gatekeeper IC-US title role, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, Shock, do you expect Phil Brooks to go scorched earth on AEW? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah.
It's lawsuits. I would be. The only reason there might not be a lawsuit is maybe CM Punk is tired of going through lawsuits. Yeah. Because it's only been a year since everything really wrapped up, or maybe a little longer than that, right?
Tony Khan's dad's bank account is a lot different than Colt Cabana's mom's bank account.
That, my friend, is a very eloquent way of putting it. No further comments.
Yeah.
No further comments.
Yep.
I fully expect CM Punk to go scorched earth. I bet you within a couple of weeks, there's a full Sports Illustrated article with Justin Barrasso. Shout out. Excellent writer. Yeah. But there will be a full Sports Illustrated feature with CM Punk and the firing and all of that sort of stuff. Noob, after NWA 75, am I ready for the new era of the NWA? Brother, I was ready for the new NWA era as soon as Tyrus won that title.
Yep, I was ready.
I just got to be honest with you. It was very, very, very hard to watch. There's a lot of great people in the National Wrestling Alliance, both in front of the camera, behind the scenes, and everywhere in between. But personally, and especially about a month ago or the couple of months ago where Tyrus made his boneheaded statement about he'd beat his kids or whatever it was if they ever tried to change their pronouns. I'm trying to keep my cursing light, but at the end of the day, just fuck that guy. And I really don't have time for anyone with those sorts of views. So I was very ready for that one at the start. I was very reinforced in my views throughout his title run. And I never really want anyone to lose their job. But I'm very, very happy that there is one more open spot in the NWA roster because his ass is out of there.
And literally, looking at whose spot that is to fill, quite literally anybody with any level of wrestling training can fill it. So
I know someone who might be looking for work.
Get in there.
I don't even think looking at that last match there, I don't even think you need to put the asterisk of anybody with any semblance of wrestling training.
True.
That guy ran the ropes like a bouncy ball. I hated it.
I got chopped on Friday night. I think I qualify.
Yeah.
Who reported that Tyrus was backstage at Payback? I friggin' hope not.
Yeah.
Someone was reporting it.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
I hope
if Bill is looking for work, there's a shot in NWA right there.
Oh my god.
If he really wants to wrestle, there you go.
Punk in the NWA. I don't know. He should be able to go anywhere he wants, right? But where would want to take a chance on him for the money that he would want? He's either taking a pay cut or going somewhere that he maybe doesn't want to. I don't know. And I don't know many budgets, but does Impact have the budget to meet the monetary demands of a CM Punk coming off of what, a $4 or $5 million contract?
No, at this point, he's taking a pay cut.
There's
without a thing.
If he wants to wrestle again, he's taking a pay cut.
Yeah.
And if the pay cut's severe enough. The No Limits match between Natalia Markova and Camille was really talked about for last week. No, good on Natalia. I saw that. Shout out to Kenzie Page, your new NWA Women's Champion as well. I heard that they were pretty cool shows. I haven't had the chance to check them out yet, to be quite honest with you. But I'm happy to support the NWA now that we've got someone not quite like a Tyrus. That's the best I've got for it. I really do. And there's a lot of great people. Phil Brooks would elevate the NWA. Hell yeah, he would. CM Punk, when you're looking at him strictly as a pro wrestler, is an asset to pro wrestling. It is everything that comes from the time, everything outside of the time that he's come through the curtain and gone back through it. It seems to be not that advantageous to have him in a locker room. It just does.
You had mentioned MLW earlier. They got a pay-per-view tonight, eh? Kind of just slowly snuck up on everyone.
Yeah, did it ever? Match card? I get the emails every so often. But,
main events: Alex Kane, Willie Mack. They got Kushida, Tony Deppen.
Who's Akira defending against?
Matt Cardona's on there. Jacob Fatu, and I can't remember. But
Kevin Blackwood's MLW debut.
Did anybody else see? Speaking of Matt Cardona, the angle that Prestige ran with him, where basically they forgot to pick him up at the airport.
Yes.
Yep.
That also just like that Prestige show, like it was really good, and SNS debuted there finally.
Mike, I don't think you ever need to tell me that a Prestige show was good. I got a lot of time for him. A lot of time for him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Prestige Wrestling.
No, that was more for the people watching. That whole Prestige. Just seeing Sinner and Saint there, though, I was so happy.
You and I both. Travis Williams and Judas Icarus, both in Edmonton, Alberta, September 29th for Love Pro Wrestling 19. Speedball strikes first. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes, though. Ace, you're bang on. Punk did wrestle for MLW in the past. Look, the biggest thing for me is with any other company, let's say you take WWE and AEW out of it just because burned bridges, just some burned bridges there. Rip, can you get down, please? Wherever else he wants to go, he would definitely elevate their product, but would he be able to sacrifice on the monetary end, or would another promotion be able to step up to the money? Like even on a New Japan or something like that, I don't know what their budgets are. I really don't. So maybe that's a possible option. Like CM Punk in the G1 or something. Timing wise, I don't know what their next big thing is, but CM Punk in the G1, something like that.
As a nice,
massive.
As a nice, having that nice business relationship with AEW, is that even something that would likely happen anyway?
And there you go. And Impact's got a business relationship with AEW. Like every.
But
just closing doors. What else can you say?
Like less so even on the they don't, maybe another company wouldn't want to burn their bridge by working with him, but also like I'm sure news travels of like what it's like working with him in 2023 as well. So how many of those companies would be like, nah, well,
Yeah,
we can miss all, we can miss having all the side things that come along with it.
The accoutrements, so to speak. Yeah, just an odd one. But sorry, just to get back to it, because we've got about 5 more minutes, and then we'll get kick-started here with Gigi Rey versus Son of Irish from LPW 18. Cena as the guest referee, just to go back to him, I'm so happy he's back. Putting over LA Knight, that's huge. There are so many rumors out there that maybe, the office has seen him as a ripoff, or fans see him as a ripoff. In some ways, I don't think that's entirely unfounded. I wouldn't use the word ripoff.
No.
Homage would be the nice way that I would put it. But John Cena going to bat for you and raising your hand at the end of a match like that is huge. Huge. Really, really love to see that. And Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez was an absolute blast. I think that there have been, and rightfully so, a lot of complaints over the last couple of months, or really since Raquel's debut, that there hasn't been much of a character there outside of look at how strong my back is. I got a lot of time for Raquel Rodriguez, and I really hope that coming out of this, this feud isn't done either, I wouldn't think. And I'm going to call it now that Raquel Rodriguez is going to win the Women's Royal Rumble this year and challenge Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania.
All right.
Yeah.
Timeline-wise, I think that is what's going to line up. Because Survivor Series, Rhea is going to take on who's the other women's champion right now?
Io.
There we go.
Yeah.
Rhea and Io, right? And that's just assuming they go off of the champion versus champion. If there's a War Games, I would see something like that happening too with Rhea involved. So no title defense there. No December pay-per-view. Raquel and Rhea can go with the Royal Rumble, and then Raquel will enter at 30, something like that. Go to WrestleMania. There we go.
Yeah.
There's my somewhat prediction. Do the Roman Reigns spot where she loses the match and still enters at 30. Ray, I really like this point as well too. Sorry to just jump around, but lots of comments here, and I want to make sure we hit them all before we hit the match. I like to believe that no one wanted to listen to Cardona in the car, so they left him there. Horace and Phoenix at Prestige was great. Yeah, absolutely. No one else is gonna with me?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
JPJ, I got Becky and Rhea for Mania next year. That's not a bad shout either. Very excited as well to potentially see Becky Lynch go back to NXT. There was that little interaction again with her and Tiffany Stratton last night. And I really love it. I think Tiffany Stratton's going to be a star. I really do.
100%.
So, cool little moments last night. If you haven't watched it yet, I would recommend checking Payback out. 4 bags of popcorn out of 5.
And we got
give it. Hard hitting matches too. Like a lot of matches went out there and they beat the hell out of each other. That street fight with Owens and Zayn versus the Judgment Day. Shout out Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, my forever champions. But what an absolute blast. And if you're going to lose titles, you want to lose them in a match like that. That you go, all went out there or both went out there. Or however many of you went out there and beat the hell out of each other and really made some memories out there. If I was ever going to buy any wrestling memorabilia, because there's not much. I'm not a big I'm not a used gear fan or anything like that. But if there's ever anything that I would want, one of those items would be the Kevin Owens blood-stained Mario Lemieux jersey he was wearing last night, because that was badass. That was badass, and I loved it. Anyways, Mike, Lawrence, Blair, anything y'all want to chat about before we move on to some wrestling here?
I mean, I do have the MLW card here if anyone wants it. I'll run it real quick.
Let's do it.
Willie Mack versus Alex Kane for the MLW World Championship. Fatu versus RSP in a Weapons of Mass Destruction for the National Openweight Championship. Mance Warner versus Matt Cardona in a Kiss My Foot match. Deppen and Kushida. Becca versus Maki Ito. Tracy Williams versus Ichiban, and a Sessions by St. Laurent segment. So it's something I'll go back to watch,
Tune in on Fight TV, correct?
Yeah, on Fight Plus.
No middleweight title match. Interesting.
No, but they do do the taping as well, so I'm sure there'll be a match on there for later on.
And then, of course, outside of that, tonight you can tune into AEW's All Out pay-per-view, headlined, I would assume, by John Moxley and Orange Cassidy. That's going to be the main tonight. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, headlined by John Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. Before we head on to Gigi Rey versus Son of Irish, I'll rip through the rest of the card here. Well, at least some of them that I find interesting here on the card. Give me your predictions. Orange Cassidy or John Moxley tonight for the International Championship. Blair, I'll start with you.
I'm taking Orange Cassidy. Even though I feel like he will lose it soon, I feel like a victory over Mox really solidifies him into that next level. And also that title as well. He's done a great job with it. So having a victory over Mox, Orange Cassidy all the way.
Lawrence.
My heart is always with Orange Cassidy, but it feels like they've been building up his collection of injuries over these defenses. And I think this is finally the person that's gonna be one too many that he can't outlast Moxley. It's gonna be a hell of a match, but I think it's gonna be Moxley that take, which is too bad because this has probably been one of the best title runs in AEW Like he took a brand new title and made it really matter, and put on some insane matches. And like, if there are any doubters for any reason on Orange Cassidy, which is insane, because like I remember within the first week of him being in AEW, one of my coworkers who is not a wrestling fan just saw the video on social media, like, this is the coolest dude ever. Like him Impact, like from right away, Bray started bringing in new eyes to AEW, and he's had this amazing title run and put this out on the line. But yeah, I think it ends tonight with Moxley. Along with
Mike, what are you thinking?
All the things Lawrence just said, except I'm going to still stick with, I think Orange Cassidy retains, because every time I've done any kind of AEW pay-per-view prediction show, I feel like when they're like really pointing at things going one way like this, like Orange Cassidy's so fucking beat up that he's just like he's not going to be able to conquer Moxley with all these injuries. They actually don't give you the result that you would think
Make Orange look strong.
yeah. Like I feel like they're gonna he'll find a way actually, So I'm gonna, despite all the injuries. So yeah.
Fair enough. I'm gonna go with Mox as well. I think that the win last week for Orange Cassidy's team in Stadium Stampede is going to play into that in a weird way. It's almost like the 50-50 booking aspect for that. And I also really think that if anybody's going to carry the international championship, you can't have someone like cheap shot, but you can't have someone like an AR Fox who can't travel outside of the United States go in and be your international champion. Someone like a John Moxley who can be going out and defending this in the UK or defending this for New Japan or making it, again, the same way that Orange Cassidy has an international championship would be huge.
Well,
I'm calling Mox.
The thing with Mox, too, is he also does a lot of independent stuff like Wrestling Revolver, Defy Wrestling, and because of his status within AEW, he never loses his independent matches, obviously. So he could certainly defend that thing outside of AEW, even just on independence, kind of like how Pac brought it to Rev Pro and shit.
Yeah, great shout. It does suck that Billy Starks is hurt. Ace, I don't know if she is cleared yet, but there is, for tonight's card, there is an announced over budget battle royal that I don't believe any competitors have been announced for. So maybe you see Billy Starks return again. I don't know if she's been cleared or not, or how close she was, but we got that. We've got the main event like we just talked about. MJF and Adam Cole defending the ROH World Tag Championships against the Dark Order. Omega versus Takeshita. That is going to slap, as the kids are saying. Blair, I'm going to steal a 4 exposure spot here. Can you do the honors, please?
Banger alert.
Woo! we've got Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs. We've got Eddie Kingston and Shibata versus the Blackpool Combat Club. That is going to slap as well. The ROH World Television Championship, Samoa Joe defends against Shane Taylor. Yeah. And as Ace said,
boys.
Two meaty matches, slapping that being one of them. Of course, Miro and Powerhouse being the other one. The 8-man tag match pitting FTR and the Young Bucks against Bullet Club Gold. Luchasaurus defending the championship, the TNT championship, against Darby Allin. I think Darby's winning that one. I think a four-time TNT champion. I think once he hit Rude, down please.
Besides when Samoa Joe and him were feuding over it, Darby Allin's TNT title reign was his most recent one was the happiest I felt about that belt for a while. So
yeah, that
although
down please, I'm talking.
Although what Christian and Luchasaurus have going on right now with it is actually very entertaining, but not for the wrestling level that I liked Darby Allin's reign for, but just on the the character level with Christian and the belt is so funny, top tier.
Top tier indeed, my friend. Well, we're gonna move on. Luckily enough, this is a This is a damn sprint. This is from LPW 18, friends, and thank you for joining us as we hit the watch along here on the Brunch Gimmick.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. One fall for the One Pro Wrestling Challenge Champion.
There we go. As I mentioned just there, this is for the Challenge Championship from last month's event. Just over 2 weeks ago, this took place in Edmonton, Alberta, and a first-time ever match between Gigi Rey of Millwood Zone and, of course, Son of Irish, your, Challenge champion. This is a blast. Stu Garvey, big shout-out to him. Iron Ref last month. Unfortunately,
my friends.
Well, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but Fitzy went on vacation last month.
2023, and we are live.
He was watching this from vacation
in South Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, for LPW 18 Hot Tag.
I very much enjoyed this match. I was in the Twitch chat watching the show live.
Well, thank you. I was there introducing. Oh, I'm gonna take this.
Yes.
I'm gonna take this off of your.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this off your face, Mike.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I can be the RK Athletics unofficial spokesperson today.
Top to bottom lineup.
That's okay.
I don't know if they want to enforce the things that come out of my mouth.
We want to see your lovely mug.
Challenge Championship, Son of Irish on
Rip, can you get out of there?
Role since
End up
becoming
disconnecting all my
the
cables
LPW Challenge Champion
over the last month or so.
He has a very
I think that happened when I was on with you guys, didn't it?
Gigi
It did.
Ray, the money looking to add the
A-Shock
gold.
asked in the chat if OC retains, who dethrones him if not Box.
CM Punk.
Yeah. Yeah.
See? Isn't it funny? These are now the fun little teehees we get to have. Because it will obviously not be CM Punk.
Operating at a very, very high level right now as your LPW Challenge Champion.
Phil Brooks,
Son
however.
of Irish.
Who does dethrone him?
I actually did. You know what? That's the thing. I didn't think that far ahead with it. I was just thinking it would be real cool if Orange Cassidy, beat Box.
Accompanied to the ring as he often is by
Takeshita.
Irish Senior, if you will.
Wheeler Yuta.
Face to face, nose to nose. That's what it's all about. The LPW Challenge
Okay, so
Championship.
Yuta, Takeshita, yeah. Blair? Lawrence?
No, I don't think either Blair or Lawrence are going to beat him for it.
I got this, guys.
Lineup, of course, our main event.
Daniel Garcia.
You're going DG?
Good shout, good shout.
Winning the gauntlet match.
Chris Jericho.
Earning him a shot at our main event against the aforementioned Gigi Rey.
Nobody said no.
Nobody said
no. Nobody said no.
I would probably go Eddie Kingston, but I want Eddie Kingston to feud for the heavyweight title.
Eddie Kingston is going to beat Claudio for that Ring of Honor World Championship.
Final battle this year. Yeah.
Nice
final battle, Eddie Kingston. Ring of Honor World title win.
Immediately taking Gigi Rey.
Eddie Kingston is one of those rare wrestlers, and I'm not breaking news here, but you believe every word coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Every word that he has ever said, I have believed.
Yep.
I have self-confidence issues, but if Eddie Kingston ever told me I looked good, you better believe I am wearing the same outfit he told me I looked good in every goddamn day.
Yeah. Everything I did that day, I would repeat like superstition.
Yep, 100%.
It'd be
100%.
I'd be living in it'd be Groundhog Day every day after that.
That's what we need. You know that and it's the cutest thing in the world. There's a phone line that you can call, and if you call it, there's basically pre-recorded messages. I think it's like a second or a third grade class somewhere in the States that just left a bunch of positive messages. We need that, but with Eddie Kingston's voice.
Yes.
You look good today, partner. I would be so happy.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Down to the floor. Keep an eye on the money.
This is 900 number where you call it, and you just get Eddie Kingston gassing you up.
I can only speak for me, but that would certainly solve my self-confidence issues.
I've tweeted out several times, after his promos, I'm like, I'd run through a wall if Eddie Kingston, I'd run through a wall.
You know when your mom used to say, like, would you jump off your bridge? Would you jump off a bridge if all your friends were doing it?
If Eddie Kingston
no,
was
but
the
if
one,
Eddie
like,
Kingston
hyping
told
me
me
up
to,
do it.
Yeah.
If Eddie Kingston told me it would be fine if I did, I'd do it. Yeah, I'd believe him.
He wouldn't need to tell me I'd be fine. He'd just have to say, jump off the bridge, partner. Yeah, true. Oof.
Big forearm in the corner.
How would I describe Gigi Rey and Son of Irish as characters and wrestlers?
Hit the canvas hard.
You know what? I can handle that, but if anybody else would like to, it's always nice to get the outside perspective on it.
Gigi Rey's a badass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gigi gonna slow the pace
Go with
down,
that.
take control of that left arm.
Hype as
The
hell.
best, the best way I could put it, Ace, if we want to speak in just like general wrestling terms, if this is your first opportunity to watch either of them, got a ton of matches featuring both on the Love Wrestling YouTube channel. Son of Irish has been a part of Love Wrestling since quite literally day one. He is about the best representation of a babyface you can find. Like, if you watch him even just in this match here, very, very easy to get behind, very plucky, incredibly athletic, and just one of the hearts of Love Pro Wrestling, you can say. But in the same vein, you can say the same about Gigi Rey. You know, she's a little bit more traveled than Son of Irish. The reason she hasn't worked with us as consistently is she's wrestling pretty often down in Texas, down throughout the United States. She's got an opportunity coming up with Marvelous over in Japan. So I know you're a Japanese wrestling fan. If you've got the chance to tune in while she's over there, I would highly suggest it. She's trained under Michael Richard Blaze, and then now she's training under Booker T down at Reality of Wrestling. But also, see, you can sort of see that incredibly fluid, incredibly technically sound. Both of them can cover all bases, but Gigi, I'd say, is a lot more technically sound on that end of things too. Like you just said there, even too, Mike, or heard you reacting to, like, the transition into that was just fantastic.
Yeah, any kind of like armbar capture transition, you're gonna make me happy.
Into the turnbuckle. Great show of strength from the champion. That might have taken
Talking before about Eddie Kingston, I highly recommend everyone to go on Twitter, find the video online of Willow Nightingale doing Eddie Kingston's promo.
I sent that in our Slack chat today. If you guys haven't watched it, it's unbelievable.
Like,
and
just absolute perfection from Willow Nightingale.
Speaking of StarCast, shout out to my co-host on Indeed, Righteous Reg, who at this very moment is live on stage at StarCast doing Grapsody with Phil Lindsay and Will Washington.
Hey, rad!
Yeah.
So
very, very cool.
As soon as we're out of here on brunch, I'm actually going to go and I'd order that so I can watch the replay on it.
Get caught up there. Very, very cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It started at 1 o'clock as well. I was like, oh, it starts at noon. I'll watch some of that before we do brunch. And then I was like, wait, it's in Chicago. Noon Chicago is 1. Stupid Chicago. Not stupid Chicago, but time zones. Time zones are stupid.
Silly.
I hate you, time zones.
Maintaining that grip.
More specifically, when they're advertised in the local time, and my brain thinks about it in my local time.
Yeah.
Especially when
very close.
So I do like it when wrestling promotions do this. It makes sense to advertise the local time on the graphic because you're gonna be you're trying to fill the building with people who are living in the area. They need to know what time to come to the show. But I do it every time there's like a California show. I'm like, oh, it's on at 8 o'clock, cool. And then I'm like, wait, no, it's 8 o'clock rolls. 8 o'clock rolls around, and I'm like, where's the stream? And I'm like, yes, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, this looked really good. I really enjoyed this match. It's rare I get the chance to. It's rare I get the chance to sit down and watch full matches while we're running shows. But when I do, it's usually the first match or the main event, just because. By that point, everything's set up and we're running and sort of in the flow of things, right?
Well, yeah, because on top of ring announcing, you're actually also, doing a lot of the
promoter.
you're doing all the other show running stuff that that would
Very, very, very close.
Yeah, you know, these small little tasks that running a promotion brings in.
To thank everybody.
But like, yeah, usually match one is you sort of can sit down and watch, and in the nicest of ways. But like when anything pops up, like if somebody needs to find a seed or something like that. Oh, no worries, Grainmaker.
Yeah.
It's good to see your Wi-Fi crapped out on you. That's okay. We still love you. Don't worry. I think Lawrence can certainly speak to the couple of times my Wi-Fi's crapped out on us, and you know,
It happens.
it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
But everyone should watch or listen to the Grainmaker podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And for
You should
exposure-
definitely listen to the Grainmaker Wrestling podcast.
Oh,
You should tune into the video version on Love Wrestling's Patreon channel, but we'll talk about that in a second because Big Sally there from Son of Irish, another victory, retaining the Love Pro Wrestling Challenge Championship. Ace, like I mentioned, if you want to tune in, quite literally every single one of Son of Irish's matches are available here on YouTube. I agree, Ben Omen. Stewart is a good referee. It happens when you get properly trained by the best in the biz, homie.
Hell of a way to open up a great night of professional wrestling. Right now, we are mourning the loss of a couple of legends in our industry, and what better way to pay tribute and show respect than an amazing opening match like that one. But stick around.
Hell of a way to start the show.
We got some new blood, some new.
Great way to start the show. Immediately following that one, like Boris was just getting into when I cut her out there, the following match after that was Reloaded versus the team of Jackie Lee. Reloaded versus the team of Casey Ferreira and Levi Knight. Absolute blast as well. That was my first time getting to work with 3 of the 4 of them, and just absolutely loved it. So if you've got the chance, you're already on YouTube, and we're just about wrapping up, so stay here. If you aren't subscribed yet, please feel free to. If you can just give a thumbs up on this video, it helps us out with the algorithm. And if you want to follow us anywhere that podcasts are played, videos are viewed, or awesome content is created by awesome people, follow us at Love Wrestling CA. We've got a lot of great stuff coming up, including, as I mentioned off the top of the show, LPW 19 on Friday, September 29th. Speedball strikes first. It is the first appearance of Speedball Mike Bailey in Alberta. He'll be taking on God's Gift to Wrestling, Michael Richard Blaze. It's going to be a blast. We've also got Judas Icarus heading out here for the first time, taking on Zoe Sager, Reed Matthews, T.Y. Jackson, the Rad 7, and all of your Love Pro Wrestling favorites are going to be there. So why shouldn't you be? Tickets are already going. Pick them up on Eventbrite. The link will be tweeted out here probably later today. I've got to clean the house a little bit, but I've got to promote a show too. So we'll get that sent out your way. But Mike, I've talked enough about me. Where can the people find you, Home Slice?
Every Sunday, right here on the Brunch Gimmick with, Lawrence, Spencer, Blair, anyone else that happens to join us. Who knows? Wednesdays on Fightful Overbooked. I do indeed with Righteous Reg. We've got Ben Ortman's on the show this week to talk about the new season of Crossbody Pro Wrestling Uproar that's premiering on Wednesday at 7 p.m. on YouTube. And also to premiere a video of him overhand chopping me.
Taking your soul.
Yeah. He collected my soul. And that's why I've been so bland today.
Yeah.
Lawrence, where can the people find you?
They can find me on all the socials at Carthay NDG. And like Mike said, here every Sunday for the Brunch Gimmick. You can also catch me on Blowing Off Stream. We have our Blowing Off streams. And a potential new thing for the Patreon exclusive, which will be announced soon. Or Spencer hasn't been announced yet, right?
It has not been announced yet. However, you can help us officially announce our brand new Patreon exclusive content. Once we hit 15 Patreons, we're currently sitting at 12. 15 is a big goal of ours for the month of September. So if you can help us out over there, patreon.com/LoveWrestlingCA, you're not only going to get some of the great behind the scenes content, like I was telling you, you're getting the video editions of the Grainmaker Wrestling podcast. You're going to get exclusive matches from Love Pro Wrestling, including all of our Love Pro Wrestling Clandestine Wrestling Society events. You're going to get, like Lauren said, some brand new exclusive content. You get a bunch of my archived interviews. and a lot of great stuff in between on that end. So if you want to support us, that's the best way to do so. Help put a little bit of money back in the jeans of the Love Pro Wrestling contributors. Help make the expenses a little bit easier to pay here at Love Wrestling. It's thoroughly appreciated however you support, but that's the best way if you want to go a little bit extra. The difference, what movie was that from? The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that a little bit extra. It's cheesy, I know, but that's sort of my brand at this point. Well, you're missing out, obviously.
I don't watch a lot of movies. I'm bad at it.
How are you bad? We'll talk about that next week. That's a whole new freaking jar to open an hour into a show. Friends, we'll talk to you later. Thank you for tuning in here on Love Wrestling. For my friend Lawrence. Oh, I thought I pointed. Lawrence. For my friend Mike. And for me, Spencer Love. And for Rip. He was loud today, but we'll figure that one out. I'm Spencer Love. Thank you for being here. We'll see you on the next one.
Hands make weird.